this wonderful campaign. In any case, I take...
Amnesty International has called on the federal government to address recent and past issues of human rights abuses that have been left unattended to in the country. The country director of Amnesty International Nigeria, Issa Sanusi, made this appeal at the 2023 Right for Rights Fiesta agenda. Sanusi stresses the rise in lawlessness and impunity due to a lack of accountability among authorities. Additionally, he highlights that concerning insecurity, the government has failed to safeguard lives in rural areas, leading to the devastation of numerous communities.
In the northwest, in states like Zamfara and Katsina, bandits have devastated millions of people. Over 1 million have been displaced, and bandits are also collecting levy and taxes and murdering farmers and taking away their crops, and nothing has been done. These are some of the human rights issues. And there is the issue of rule of law, a situation whereby justice is only available and possible for people who can afford it. And we believe that that has to change, because the rule of law should work for everyone, not for a few people.
The event, which also commemorates the 75th anniversary of the Universal Declaration on Human Rights, had guest panelists from the legal professions, NGOs and civil society organizations discussing the way forward. The highlights of the occasion was a keynote address by Professor Akinseye George, a senior advocate of Nigeria, as he shed light on the current state of human rights in Nigeria.
In Nigeria, we have a lot of human rights guaranteed in our constitution, but the people are not really enjoying these rights. So there's need for improvement in governance. There's need to conduct human rights education for our leaders, our rulers. Because without human rights, when we don't recognize the human rights of people, we are bound to embark on policies that are not favorable to the public. So there's need for human rights education. There's need to strengthen the educational system, the economic system, provide jobs for the masses, particularly young school leavers. Then one major problem that we have as a country is children out of school. They are now running into millions of children out of school. And that's dangerous, because it provides a ready pool for militants and bandits and terrorists to recruit members. So we must provide alternative, for unemployed people. Even many of the people engaged in banditry and all of that. What is the option? What is the alternative we have provided for them as a people?
Professor George also emphasized a need for the reform of the legal system, highlighting the bogged-down system that has slowed judicial rulings, particularly the poor masses who lack access to justice.
The criminal justice system at the moment is bogged down by too many cases. So the poor people do not have access to justice because they cannot afford to pay the expenses of lawyers, filing systems and so on. So what we need is to create what I call simple claims courts. Claims that are below maybe 20 million. That's the majority of the cases in our courts. Those are the cases. And they cannot hear this case because there are too many. Why don't you create small claims courts, empower the magistrates, build their capacity, then introduce the use of technology so that cases can move. Now a judge has 50 cases on his court list. How do you hear 50 cases in one? It's impracticable. So we need to use technology to modernize our court system. We need small claims courts. And then for the criminal cases, we need pre-trial case management. So that before the case starts, we know the ones that will go on, we know the witnesses, and then these cases can be concluded.
Critical topics such as government policies at both state and federal levels, the pursuit of free education, and the quest for social equality took center stage during the insightful discussions. Some of the panelists who partook in the discussions called on Nigerians to be resilient in mounting pressure and fighting against human rights violation.
Public office of the citizen is the most powerful and the largest public office, meaning we have to come together and continue to push together and make noise about the human rights violations As we see, the government may not do it or get it right, but all of us are citizens, whether you're a politician or not, and so we can put pressure and make sure that we see that change come about.
We should continue fighting, and we should continue occupying our office as citizens, because if we do not, we need to understand the power that our office gives to us. It's the power to challenge what is happening and the power to make impact and to make changes.
The Amnesty International Rights for Rights is an annual global letter writing campaign offering the public the opportunity to write on human rights issues and bring meaningful change to people and groups who need support to uphold their human rights. This year, the Global Right for Rights campaign focuses on 10 cases of individuals and communities from across the world who are facing human rights violations.